Good evening and welcome to the Spencer Soccer Complex for tonight's matchup between the Spencer Tigers and the MOC-Floyd Valley Dutch. The Spencer Tigers come into tonight's game with a record of 11-4. MOC-Floyd Valley is 7-6 on the season, and the Tigers will be in their home purple uniforms tonight. The Dutch in the road white uniforms. I'm Mark Magnuson, joined by Will Dybel, and I will quickly run through the Spencer Tiger starting lineup here tonight. In goal, Peyton Cooper, the goalkeeper for the Tigers. Alyssa Rouse, Abby Horst, Sydney Schwartz, Taylor Vandera, Kirsten Small, Brooke Mosier, Mary Mathieson, Anna Jacobson, Lexi Johnson, and Mia Fank. For MOC-Floyd Valley, Anna Hummel, Zulika Rodriguez, Sarah Hummel, Makaya Harding, Grace Dahl, Marin Beatty, McKenna Davis, Angel Heisman, Hannah Holstein, Julie Plender, and Amanda Holstein. And we are underway. Beautiful weather here today for this matchup between the Tigers and the Dutch. A little bit of a northeast wind at the moment, but right now it's at the back of the Spencer Tigers, who have the ball at the moment. You can see the grass has been freshly mowed, and Will, it looks like a great surface down there tonight for tonight's match.
Honestly, it looks like they are prepared. They were prepared for television tonight, Mark.
Yes.
They wanted to make sure it looked very nice. And yeah, we honestly, I was going to mention that we were talking to some of the girls earlier before we found that their Spencer girls team, their reputation has kind of preceded them with their conference games here and how those go. And it's been kind of interesting to see the social media posts related to that.
And the Tiger girls know that they've been scoring a lot of goals. They've been dominating performances here often at home. Will, what's the most important thing for the Tigers to continue to try and improve each game and get better as they know they are working towards the postseason?
Yeah, and so I think what they're really probably focused on is keeping the momentum. Sometimes when you go into games and you come out on top so highly each game, you can get into a little bit of a lull and you come in a bit complacent. So I think they're really going to be focused on that. Keeping the tempo and the momentum up in these kinds of matches is going to be huge for them, and also getting their defense more touches on the ball.
Here's Kirsten Small with the early cross into the box, and it's dealt with initially by MOC-Floyd Valley. The Dutch trying to play it into a wide area. Kirsten still there along with Mia Fank and Sydney Schwartz. And now Sydney Schwartz putting some pressure on the ball. MOC-Floyd Valley unable to keep it in play, so the Tigers will quickly take the throw in. Here is Sydney Schwartz getting the start tonight for the Spencer Tigers. Now Mary Mathieson plays it to Lexi Johnson. Lexi, couple of touches, will move it wide for Abby Horst, who is on the left side to begin tonight's game. Different look than we've seen from Abby, who's usually been on the right side of the Tiger lineup.
Yeah, and honestly, I think that, their midfield is super strong, and I think you can even tell there's some competition even getting that starting spot some games because they have those rotations in there more often than any other position on the field for Spencer. We've seen Eliza, we've seen Sydney, we've seen Abigail, all kind of rotating in those midfield positions.
MOC-Floyd Valley trying to play the ball towards midfield. Taylor Vandera has actually stepped into the Tiger attacking half and gets a touch on the ball. Now Lexi Johnson in the pink shoes trying to pass it towards Mary Mathieson. Right now, not a lot of space to move the ball in that area. As you can see, a lot of white shirts surrounding Lexi Johnson, who's on it now. Now to Mia Fank. Mia with some space to operate. Will play the through ball for Kirsten Small. Kirsten should be able to keep this in play. She does get there, but actually the touch, I think, just enough to take it over the end line, and it will be a goal kick for the Lady Dutch.
Another thing I think they're going to really need to keep in mind and their focus on is those open doors. Their whole strategy so far really has been getting that first goal because they always do. And so having those early opportunities and getting those early goals is always a key for Spencer. And keeping that up when they get into the tougher competition in postseason is going to be important for their play style as well.
Here's Abby Horst rolling it across with the left foot to Lexi Johnson. Now Lexi cuts in field and just has it taken away as it looked like she might be getting ready to attempt a shot. Now Alyssa Rouse on the ball to Anna Jacobson. She'll drive forward with it strongly. Still Anna. Played it towards Lexi Johnson. Still ended up with Lexi somehow after a MOC touch. Now Brooke Mosier winning it high up the field. Plays it to Kirsten Small in the box. Kirsten the turn. No one there on the end of the squared ball. Still not fully cleared by MOC. Tigers on it with Mary Mathieson. She can hit this from just outside the box with the left. Instead moves it to Abby Horst, and then the pass just behind Lexi Johnson. And there's Taylor Vanderhaar again stepping way up to win the ball. To Mia Fank. Mia with the step over and then the left-footed shot, and it's drifting wide of the post. Will, do you think this is something the Tigers have talked about or something that Taylor has kind of taken it up upon her own here in the early minutes, stepping so far forward in the Tiger half, it's giving the Tigers another player in the attacking phase?
Yeah, and I think this is the same issue that a lot of the other teams have run into when they play Spencer, is they try to really fill that box and pull everybody back on defense because they know how much of a threat they are.
Here's a bouncing ball that's not cleared right away, and the Dutch do get a chance to put it out of play, but it will result in a Tiger corner, and that will be the first of the match for the purple and gold.
And that kind of defensive strategy is not going to get you anywhere with Spencer because they're too good. I mean, even if you fill the box, they're still going to be getting those goals in, and what you're doing is just delaying the inevitable of those goals. And so that's kind of something most coaches will teach, is you keep one more back than what they have up. So when they all go up.
And look at Taylor right now. She's dead even with the farthest person back, I guess you would say, for MOC-Floyd Valley, but it's not very far outside the box. Here's Mia Fank, and that will be rolled into the net as Mia has it fall right to her, and then about the calmest finish you will see as Mia Fank scores the goal, and the Tigers take the early lead.
Yeah, no, and I think your point is, I mean, like right there, it didn't even matter if MOC got the clear out of there because it was going to go straight to a Spencer player because of how many whites were back in that box. So it's a huge point, huge point.
And Mia, that time, just calmly slots home the finish. The Tigers strike first. Mia Fank with the goal. 1-0 Spencer, 5:34 into the match. Now Brooke Mosier dances around one defender. Kirsten Small gets one touch. Now Sydney Schwartz coming up on the outside right. Sydney will cross it. Good ball into the box, and it's off of the knee of Kirsten Small, but she will keep it in play. Now Sydney Schwartz again. A low cross this time. Bounces into Lexi Johnson. Lexi has it taken off of her toe, but only as far as Kirsten Small, and then Kirsten's shot saved at the near post this time by Amanda Holstein, who slides across just in time.
And that was quite a save by Holstein. That was an extremely well-placed ball just inside the post. I mean, that was going to be a nice goal if that went in.
Mia Fank on the ball. Passes to Mary Mathieson. Mary to Lexi Johnson. Tried to lay it off for Brooke Mosier. Now Alyssa Rouse, that farthest back defender that we've talked about here. Abby Horst will get here to Mary Mathieson, and now Anna Jacobson. You can see Anna Jacobson always wanting to make that cutting run into the defense. Abby Horst drives into the box. Still Abby, left-footed cross, sits up nicely for Brooke Mosier, the defender just getting there in time. Now Kirsten Small, back to Mia Fank. She will shape and shoot with the left foot, but it's right at the goalkeeper Holstein, who does a nice job to get down and make sure she was behind the ball.
You know, and Fank really likes to take those digs, especially when there's no wind going against her outside the box, 20 yards out, 25 yards out even. And she's got the leg for it, too. She's got just great aim, great power behind that shot.
Mia's been scoring goals like that since at least her sophomore season. I mean, that is one of her favored areas to take those shots. You're right. So the goal kick for MOC-Floyd Valley. The Dutch 7-6 on the season out of Class 1A. In the Siouxland Conference. And just as that goal kick was set up, Abby Horst switched back to the right-hand side, and Eliza Edwards into the game for Spencer on her favored left-hand side, and here she is with her first touch of the match. Now Taylor Vanderhaar. Taylor loves to make a run forward with the ball, and here she goes. Crosses with the left foot, takes a deflection, but into the arms of the goalkeeper, Amanda Holstein, the sophomore goalkeeper. Big bouncing ball to midfield. First to it was Spencer's Anna Jacobson. Now Kirsten Small back to Abby Horst. Good ball to pick out Lexi Johnson, and then a couple of nice step-throughs. Lexi will have a chance for a shot, and she makes it count as she slides it into the far corner, and that just sneaks inside the post. You couldn't have placed that one much better, and the Tigers will take a 2-0 lead.
And actually, I mean, my angle could have been a little bit off here, but it was actually very lucky she took that shot because Kirsten seemed to be slightly offsides on that far side, but since she wasn't involved in the play, didn't get that offsides called on her at all. But from my angle, at least, it had looked like she was a bit forward before that ball had gone.
And you look at some of the Tigers' goal-scoring numbers this year, Will, they're starting to look a little bit silly. And for Alexa now, that's 36 goals on the season.
Oh, a dream for many. That's, wow.
I'd be setting off fireworks if I got close to double digits.
I was thinking the same thing. I mean, I played center mid, so a goal a season for me was fantastic.
Yeah, I said double digits, but I really meant like 3. Here's a ball that will roll all the way to Amanda Holstein as she comes to the edge of the box to cover things up. Brooke Mosier and Eliza Edwards were chasing, and yeah, you're right, the flag is up on this near side. So that was for the previous runs where the Tigers were chasing after that long ball. And it's going to be the MOC-Floyd Valley free kick, and now the Tiger team has to take a big shift as Spencer has not been back in the defensive half in this shape yet in the game. Right away, the Tigers, of course, trying to win the ball. Abby Horst was able to do so, but could not pick out Kirsten Small. So the Dutch will have the throw now with Marin Beatty. Kirsten Small to Anna Jacobson. Now Mary Mathieson. Mathieson to Mia Fank. Mia Fank playing the through ball. Brooke Mosier should be favored to get to this. Brooke will get there first. Crosses early to Lexi Johnson, who was waiting for it. And Lexi with the fine finish. You could see both of those players on the exact same wavelength, and they execute to perfection on the breakaway goal.
It was very fantastic. I mean, they're timed on their run. The timing on their runs are just really well laid out. I mean, you can even tell that in their warm-ups. They do that same drill every time, moving to space, passing, controlling the ball with the two sides. I mean, it's a great way to just continue to know where's my player, where's my teammate, and where do I need to place the ball.
So Brooke Mosier will get the assist. Lexi Johnson with her second goal of the half, and the Tigers lead 3-0. Just got done talking about MOC-Floyd Valley having so many players back defending. Now as they move the line up here, playing a very dangerous game with the Tigers on the counterattack as we just saw.
Mm-hmm. And, you know, to be honest, they should have probably tried that right away at the beginning versus, you know, all these teams we see come out so defensively, they get on their heels and there's not really a way to come back against Spencer. Now they do it a little too late.
Here is the through ball for Kirsten Small this time. The defender gets back and gets the first touch and then is able to knock it off of Kirsten's shin guard, and it will be a goal kick for MOC-Floyd Valley. That was a good hustle play by Grace Dahl to get back for the Dutch.
Yeah, I think if MOC wants to try to do anything, they're not going to get many opportunities, if any, honestly, on Spencer. But if they did, they're going to have to really just try to kick it into the mix and see if anything happens, because they're really not going to get too many options.
So basically, well, the higher line they play, it's a calculated risk from their perspective. They would get more chances, but probably open themselves up a little bit at the back.
Absolutely, and I think that they're hoping that they have the speed to handle Kirsten and Mosier and Eliza even on the far side, and I don't know if they do. I really don't.
Here is a slowdown in the play as there is a player down for the moment, and the time will have to be stopped here with 28:16 left to play in the first half. Injury timeout. The Tigers lead 3-0. Spencer scoring the first goal in the 6th minute from Mia Fank. And then it was Lexi Johnson 3 minutes later made it 2-0. And the Tigers with a third goal in the 11th minute as Lexi Johnson scored again. This time the assist was Brooke Mosier. And Spencer now in front 3-0. So injured player being checked on. 28:16 left to play in the first half. You're watching Spencer Girls Soccer on SMU Channel 3.
It is the time of year for our annual hydrant flushing. This is to maintain the over 600 hydrants we have throughout the community of Spencer. We are flushing each one and making sure they are well maintained and ready for use if needed. Watch our website for the area we are flushing. Remember to put in your basement sewer plugs when we are flushing hydrants in your area. You may notice low water pressure and some slight discoloration during this time. Please contact us if you have any questions.
Continue on here. That's good to see. As the Tigers will restart play, Mary Mathieson trying to pick out Lexi Johnson, now Eliza Edwards. Back to Lexi Johnson. Eliza Edwards again, stayed on side. Now crosses for Brooke Mosier, and there's the challenge right as Brooke takes the shot. And a 50-50 ball that was last off of MOC-Floyd Valley, and it will be the Tigers' second corner of the match. And Lexi Johnson will take this corner. You can see the corner flag will blow this ball towards the goal. Especially with the right-footed delivery. The wind should push it a little bit. Headed for the penalty spot. Right there was Mia Fank. Got underneath it a little bit, but not cleared. And finally, Holstein jumps up to gather the ball. And then the punt away towards midfield. MOC-Floyd Valley gets to that second ball, but then gives it away as Eliza Edwards comes up with it.
Now, one thing I will say is that MOC is definitely not giving in. A lot of the times you see when they start to get down this much. Oh.
Abby Horst making a long outside overlapping run. Still Abby Horst. Tried to square the ball, and it's cleared.
A lot of the times when you see them get down by this score already this early, you can see these teams getting down on themselves. And you could just see from that play right there, MOC was definitely not giving in the slightest, going for that ball even on the defensive side extremely aggressively.
The throw in to Mary Mathieson. Mary will pass to Eliza Edwards. Now it's Edwards' turn for an overlapping run from the outside. The chip towards Kirsten Small, and it's right off the top of Kirsten's head and past the outside post. As you could see, the exact idea the Tigers were going for there, and it just came off the top of Kirsten's head.
It was an excellently played ball from Eliza right to the middle, just slightly off on the timing, and Kirsten read it pretty well, just slightly off on the timing.
Another goal kick handled by Grace Dahl of MOC, and it's a short goal kick, and it ends up right with Kirsten Small for Spencer. Now Brooke Mosier. Brooke will shoot, goes for the corner, blocked away. Lexi Johnson will get there, and Lexi puts it into the side netting as it was a tough angle.
So just some reference for some of our viewers out there, that idea of Fox in the Box that we talked about last week was really a focus on the idea that that's a phrase soccer uses to speak of players that get into that box. They follow those ricochets. They're a huge threat in the box. Very commonly used across the country, across the world, honestly, in soccer. So it's just kind of a reference for that aggressive striker you might find in the box.
Here's Sydney Schwartz. Lays it off to Mia Fank. Now picks out Brooke Mosier. Wide for Kirsten Small, and Kirsten does enough to keep it in play. Draws it back towards the box, takes a deflection. Abby Horst was there, but blocked off by the defender. Now Mia Fank to Mary Mathieson. Mary could have a chance at a shot here, and I think was attempting a shot as it took a deflection. Actually, no, it did not. It was off of the foot of Mary Mathieson last, and it will be a goal kick.
MOC has been pretty aggressive on the defensive side, which is really probably a great experience for Spencer because there hasn't been as much aggressiveness against them so far.
Eliza Edwards, she can shoot from here. She does, and puts it just whizzing past the post.
Those midfielders like to take their digs from outside the 18, don't they?
And we've seen Eliza hit a couple of shots from that exact spot that have ended up in the back of the net this year. Certainly something that's a possibility from that wide area. Kirsten Small will roll this back to Sydney Schwartz. Again, Eliza Edwards cutting in with the ball. Tries to play this towards Lexi Johnson, a little bit too much on the pass. And Amanda Holstein off of her line to clear for the Dutch. Edwards wins the header. Now Lexi Johnson will chase this towards the corner flag. Lexi wins it off of the defender. Still Lexi Johnson in towards Kirsten Small again, just over Kirsten this time. And now Mia Fank is going to win the ball on the edge of the area for Spencer. Mia crosses. Deflected ball off of Kirsten Small. The Dutch still not with a clearance yet. Trying to play it out from the back, but the Tigers still keeping that press on high up the pitch, and you see Spencer win it back. Mia Fank towards Lexi Johnson. Takes it down nicely. Lexi will shoot and score. Lexi Johnson with a great finish, but that first touch is what set up the goal for her there as she brought it down so nicely.
Absolutely. It was a great cross by Mia, but then again, it was higher, and so that ability to bring the ball down quickly with lots of control to get that one touch, or the first touch for the second touch shot is huge because you don't have much more time than that. And man, they do it well.
And players, when you watch teams that are able to have those type of skills and the ball control skills, comes from hours and hours of practice, right?
Oh, it does. I think we start that at 5, maybe before, and work on those quick touches, juggling, that ability to do some of the fun games with even at that younger age, and that shows.
Here's the one-touch pass from Lexi Johnson, this time for Brooke Mosier towards Kirsten Small. Kirsten back towards Mia Fank. Mia across for Eliza Edwards. Ball played into the box now for Kirsten Small from Anna Jacobson. Kirsten to Mia Fank, and Mia's shot just over the crossbar. That had a ton of backspin and just fluttered towards the goal. I thought it might sneak under the bar.
And Mia is such a threat from outside with both the right and the left. Her strikes are fantastic. Her form when she comes in, where she plants her feet, how she holds her body when she's hitting that ball, just very, very textbook form. Brooke
Mosier's turn at a shot from distance that bounces one hop into the goalkeeper. 4-0 Spencer Tigers, 21:45 left to play first half. Kirsten Small, the intended target here, keeps the pressure on and will win the ball. Plays it to Mia. Mia could shoot this. She will, and gets help from the defender. MOC-Floyd Valley does, and then a ball that ends up with the goalkeeper Holstein. Right now the ball is not sticking at all for the Tigers. It's moving all over the pitch. Spencer is certainly working its passing game well in this first half. And now things open up a little bit, but the Dutch win the ball back. Chance here for MOC-Floyd Valley to counterattack, potentially. But Spencer aggressive in the back line. Alyssa Rouse's turn to step up this time, with Taylor Vandeross staying back as a central defender. And now it's Kirsten Small with all kinds of space on this right-hand side. Kirsten, one touch, now will cross. Tries to pick out Lexi Johnson, can't make its way through. And the MOC-Floyd Valley defense does its job for the time being.
And MOC keeps honestly making the same mistake. That defender keeps tucking in when she sees somebody coming down the center with the ball, and then Kirsten has been left wide open every time.
And here's Kirsten again in that open space on the right-hand side. We'll go for the early cross this time. Brooke Mosier waiting for the volley attempt, and that wasn't far off. That's ratcheting up the skill level, Will, when we start to see the volleys going in.
If we get to the bicycle, I'm going to have to, get him a prize here. I want the bicycle.
The short goal kick. Lexi Johnson on the ball. Lexi weaves her way through, sets up Kirsten Small. The flag up against the Tigers on this near-hand side. And MOC-Floyd Valley will have the free kick from inside its own box. The wind has not been a huge factor in this first half. Tigers have been able to keep the pressure, I think. Not anything to do with the wind here tonight. Here's Lexi Johnson winning the ball in the box. Squares it for Brooke Mosier, and now Kirsten Small. Kirsten will move it to her right foot to shoot, going for the far corner, and the defender was there to get in the way. I'm not sure the goalkeeper would have been able to get to that. So an important interception from the back line of MOC-Floyd Valley. And now the deflection off of Abby Horst, and it will be a goal kick.
And their center back is really just hanging when the ball comes down into MOC's territory down there. That center back for them is really just kind of hanging out slightly in front of the 6, trying to just stop anything the keeper can't get to.
Ball ends up with Brooke Mosier on the edge of the 18. Brooke able to somehow get that pass across, but the defender intercepts. Now Taylor Vanderop from the back will roll it to Lexi Johnson. Lexi tackled just outside the box and will win the free kick. So Spencer's going to have the free kick just inches outside the 18-yard box. And it looks like Lexi wants to take this. Sometimes it's a case of you win the foul, you get to take the free kick. That must be the case here because there was no question that Lexi wanted to take it.
She'll be aiming right for the upper corner. Actually, I do expect her to kind of tap it off to the side here. I would expect her maybe Mia over on the side might get the rip that way with the way they have the wall set up. Oh.
Rolls it to Kirsten Small. Now back to Lexi Johnson as she repositions for the shot. The wall does its job, at least for the moment. And MOC-Floyd Valley gets the ball partially away, but Sydney Schwartz is able to put the shot back in, but could not get the shot on target. I kind of like that move because it allowed the wall for a second to think that they were able to relax, and all of a sudden the ball's back to Lexi Johnson, and she was able to move away from the wall to open up that space.
That can sometimes be a common set play for teams, is to have that quick pass back. I didn't see them call anything, though, so I don't know if they have been necessarily using set plays or just reading the game and seeing which way they want to go with it. But that just comes with a lot of experience playing with each other, if that's the case.
And these players they've been teammates for a long time on this Spencer team. Here is a short goal kick again that ends up back with the original goal kick taker. It was Grace Dahl. Spencer able to win the ball, and now Mia Fank, who has scored one of the Tiger 4 goals, to Lexi Johnson, who has a first-half hat trick, over to Eliza Edwards. Eliza back to Lexi. Lexi will shoot with the left foot, blocked initially by MOC. Taylor Vanderraa to Anna Jacobson. Anna Jacobson with a wall of white jerseys in front of her. To Sydney Schwartz. Sydney shoulder to shoulder with the defender, unable to get enough power on the cross. And MOC-Floyd Valley will set up for another goal kick.
And that's something we haven't actually seen much, is Anna Jacobson so far this game. Usually by this time in the game, we've seen her with a lot of touches, a lot of maybe switching the fields, and just now.
Here's a shot from Anna Jacobson right on cue, and it's pushed just outside the post and unable to hold on to it. The goalkeeper will be a corner kick for Spencer. And it's going to be Kirsten Small to take this corner kick. Sydney Schwartz on the edge of the box. Mary Mathieson, Mia Fank, Lexi Johnson, and Brooke Mosier all ready to attack this. Delivery from Kirsten. Headed towards the near post, and it's too deep and over the end line. So 15 and a half left to play in the first half. Tigers lead 4-0. And the game's starting to settle into a pattern right now of MOC-Floyd Valley struggling to get the goal kicks far enough away from goal that the Tigers are instantly back on the ball. And the shot from Brooke Mosier on target, but making the save is Amanda Holstein. Anna Jacobson. Now Sydney Schwartz. Back to Alyssa Rouse. Over to Taylor Vanderraa. Taylor plays it towards Eliza Edwards, and now Eliza has a chance to show off her speed. Eliza trying to square the ball, and it is off of the Dutch player and out of play for a corner kick.
And now that's something that the outside midfielders on Spencer do very well, is going box to box. And you don't get to see it as much because the possession just seems to be so much in right now in MOC's half of the field. But when you do see MOC on the rare occasions get it in Spencer's half, both midfielders are back.
Big looping header. Goes wide of the post. Dutch try to play it towards McKenna Davis near the far touchline. Eliza Edwards there won it back for a moment, but then ran out of real estate. Taylor Vanderhaar again. Now Mary Mathieson to Eliza Edwards. Taylor Vanderhaar. Alyssa Rouse. Now Anna Jacobson. Tigers able to play it out of the back, and now the Dutch a little bit stretched in their shape, but a fortunate bounce will take this wide and did not allow the Tiger breakaway on a counterattack.
And I do think part of their strategy here for the Dutch is they're trying to get an offsides trap going maybe. I mean, they haven't really done the step up that goes with it, but their shape does seem like a flat back four, which is great for an offsides trap.
Here's Mary Mathieson on the ball to Brooke Mosier. Brooke will move it to her right foot, takes the shot, and scores. You could see what Brooke wanted to do as she was moving that to her right foot, and then maybe kind of caught the goalkeeper leaning as she actually went back to the left-hand side, her left-hand side of the goalkeeper. I think the goalkeeper was starting to fade towards that far post.
Exactly. Well, it's similar to like even in the American football when you're trying to do the cross pass across your body. It's a much more challenging pass, but you're much more likely to catch people off guard. As what you were just saying, this is what she was doing to the keeper.
And you could see also that I think Brooke did take a little bit off of that shot so that she could try and direct it where she wanted to, and it worked out really well. Well executed as the Tigers now lead at 5-0. Here's Sydney Schwartz. Grace Dahl wins it back for MOC, at least able to relieve the pressure for a moment as she plays it to midfield. Now Kirsten Small to Alyssa Rouse to Taylor Vanderhaar. Eliza Edwards to Mary Mathieson. Now Eliza again looking for Lexi Johnson. Too far in front of Lexi to get to. And you could see the defender, Micaiah Harding, was making sure to keep her body between the ball and Lexi so she couldn't get to it. Alyssa Rouse to Anna Jacobson. Spencer playing it around the back now. Sydney Schwartz to Kirsten Small. This is a very good ball. Kirsten charges forward with it, crosses to the far post, knocked down, takes a funny bounce. And I think a handball was given in the end against Lexi Johnson as that took a awkward deflection.
And you'll notice that MOC is having the same problem with Spencer as most of the teams we've seen, where Spencer's midfield does a great job of doing 1-2 passes to get around defenders, and the defenders aren't sticking with. So that midfielder, when the offensive team is doing the 1-2, you're supposed to stick with the midfielder that makes the run, and they're not doing that.
Here's Mia Fank going for the shot, and it skips past the far post. The goalkeeper happy to let that go as she realized that was going to be wide, and it will be a goal kick now for the Dutch as Spencer will make a substitution. Sadie Cayley coming into the match. And it looks like Sadie will replace Brooke Mosier in the middle of the attack for the Tigers. Lexi Johnson to Eliza Edwards. Eliza with the left foot into the box. Now back to her in the right foot, and it fizzes just across, not too far away from Kirsten Small. Kirsten has really been the one coming in from the right, kind of to threaten around the goal so often on some of these balls in from wide areas. Here's Sadie Cayley, lays it off to Kirsten Small. Now Lexi Johnson, Lexi right in front of goal, and a great save made by the goalkeeper, Holstein. Probably her best save of the match as she was faced with a very difficult situation, essentially one-on-one in the 6-yard box with Lexi Johnson.
It was a great save, and honestly, Lexi usually does a fantastic job of trying to go straight for those corners when she's in that one-on-one situation, and might have gone a little bit quick with her shot there.
Lexi Johnson already has 3 goals in this first half, looking for a 4th here. Shoots at the near post, another nice save by the goalkeeper, but back to Lexi Johnson. Lays it back to Mary Mathieson. Mary with some room will shoot and puts it just outside the post, and the goalkeeper had to hold her breath that time as she wasn't sure if that was going to sneak inside the post or not. There's some of those that you're just not going to get to, and you just kind of have to cross your fingers, don't you, as a goalkeeper?
Oh, yes. Well, I mean, that you're constantly being taught, shoot for the corners.
And when you're moved to one side of the goal, all of a sudden the side you just left is open, and things can go against you in a hurry.
Well, you know, that's one of the things that a good striker is going to be able to determine each time as you look. And sometimes you see the really tall keepers versus the little bit shorter keepers. And knowing, you know, do you want the upper corner? Do you want the lower corner? Which is going to be your better option for a lot of these. And then placing it there, that's a sign of a very talented striker that reads it really well.
Yeah, you can put yourself in the position to get the shots all day, but if you're not putting them in the spot to score, it's not going to matter.
Exactly.
Another Tiger ball that this time takes a deflection, as it's going to be a corner kick. And that will be corner number 5 in this first half. Spencer has not gotten a great chance, I don't believe, yet off of a corner kick. Here's Kirsten kicking it into the wind. It goes to the near post. Bounces to Mary Mathieson, and Mary went with the right foot. Could not quite connect.
Well, I don't know if it's quite the hang time or the runs aren't quite getting there, but you're going to notice, I think, they generally are sending somebody to the back post, front post, and down the center, and then kind of a looper. It generally seems each time on these corner kicks, and just the timing, I don't know if it's because it's hanging a little bit higher or because they're a little bit slower going to where they're kind of designated. It seems like it's getting a little bit delayed.
Anna Fank has checked into the game now for Spencer, as the Dutch get the clearance on the corner kick, but it will be another opportunity and a third corner in a row for Spencer. Kirsten Small will try the delivery again. You can see the Dutch have one player on each post and then another right in front of the goalkeeper. This time Kirsten hangs it up a little bit towards Mia Fank. Sadie Cayley controls it now, lays it back to Mary Mathieson. To Anna Jacobson. Anna will shoot, but it's right at the goalkeeper Holstein, who makes the safe catch.
And that had to have been from, what, 30 yards out maybe?
Yeah, that was well-struck ball. Here's Anna Fank. Up from the back, Alyssa Rouse. Now Mary Mathieson to Lexi Johnson. Grace Dahl trying to defend. The Tigers there with 2 players. Contact in the box, and the goalkeeper comes out to dive on top of that loose ball. With 6:10 left to play in the first half, Spencer leading 5-0.
And MOC defense has really used their bodies a couple times to stop some goals. Whether or not they did it on purpose, they definitely have had that in between a couple times.
Anna Fank trying to pressure the ball. And now the Dutch will give it away, a miss kick. Spencer will have it. Throw in for Anna Jacobson. Anna kept it in play, and Kirsten Small in some space now. Pulls it back towards the edge of the 18. Mary Mathieson was almost able to bring that in on the move. Eliza Edwards squares it for Anna Fank. Back to Alyssa Rouse. And now Taylor Vanderaw. Vanderaw with a well-measured ball for Eliza Edwards. Eliza on the end of it. Crosses, gets it to Kirsten Small, still alive for Mia Fank, and Mia puts her foot through it. And it's over the end line for yet another Spencer Tiger corner. This will be number 7 in this first half.
That was just a wonderful through ball to Eliza, who then had an excellent cross, the follow through at the end with Mia Fank. And it was just, I mean, and that's the place where I think Spencer gets more goals than anywhere else, is that second shot. Wouldn't you agree with that?
Yes, they've gotten a lot, especially this year, from that. Here's Kirsten Small. Ball falls for Mia Fank, and Mia underneath the shot. And the goal kick now for MOC-Floyd Valley. Gray Stahl trying to play this wide, but Lexi Johnson there. Now Eliza Edwards to Mary Mathieson. Back to Eliza, who stays on side. Crosses now, takes a deflection. Kirsten Small tries to hit that on the volley, but couldn't quite control it.
You mentioned earlier what are some things they could work on. I honestly would say right now the corner kicks.
Here's a chance for Mia Fank as she arrives in the box with the ball still. Mia tries to shoot, and it goes off the end of her toe and wide of the post.
With a team as talented as Spencer, you'd expect maybe one or two of so many corner kick shots to be at the end of in the back of the net there, and we haven't quite seen the shots off on the corner kick like I would have expected.
The short goal kick. Dutch able to control it for the time being. Anna Jacobson. To Taylor Vanderah, now Alyssa Rouse. To Mary Mathieson in the middle of the field. Now Lexi Johnson. Eliza Edwards making herself available on the outside, but Lexi will cut it back inside to Anna Jacobson. Somehow almost ended up with Kirsten Small, but it's off of MOC last and a corner kick. So here we go, Will. Another chance at a set piece, number 8 in the first half as far as corner kicks are concerned. And it will be Kirsten Small to deliver once again. And Kirsten cannot beat the first offender with the delivery, but Spencer will win the ball with Mia Fank. Now Sadie Cayley. Sadie shoots, and it's just outside the post, about as close as you can get.
That was a very well-placed shot, especially with the number of defenders in between her and the goal. The awareness to see where to shoot it there was very good on her part.
Mia Fank wins the goal kick again. Now Lexi Johnson, as the sun has come out here at the tail end of this first half. Wide for Jasmine Edwards, who's come into the game. Jasmine back to Mary Mathieson. Now Lexi Johnson. And the ball goes out of play, last touch by MOC. Lexi, much like on the basketball court, never gives up on the play. The ball's in the box, and the defender could be controlling it, but she's still going to be going for it, and that's what happened there, and it won the corner kick.
Absolutely. The aggressiveness for her is just, I mean, again, like you mentioned earlier, her honestly outrageous number of goals comes from that aggressiveness.
Here's Mia Fank, able to pivot and chip it in with the left foot. Now Mia again with the left foot, and it's again fizzing just past the post. And the Tigers, yes, have 5 goals in this first half, Will, but how many have just, gone just outside the post on either side of the goal?
I mean, I'm very surprised with how many great shots we've had that we don't have a higher score right now. Like you said, they're so close, just outside, just above, or a good save.
Jasmine Edwards back on the ball to Anna Jacobson, and now Kirsten Small. Kirsten spins and gets the cross in. Lexi Johnson controlled it but couldn't get it a shot away. Now Kirsten Small watches the shot go behind, and it's going to be MOC-Floyd Valley with the goal kick, and that will be the final action of the first half as the final seconds tick down, and the Spencer Tigers going to carry a 5-0 lead into the halftime break. First half, Mia Fank with the goal in the 6th minute to get the Tigers rolling. Then it was Lexi Johnson in the 9th minute, the first of 3 goals for Lexi. Lexi again in the 11th minute, the assist from Brooke Mosier. Lexi Johnson in the 17th minute, and then Brooke Mosier with her first goal of the match at the 27-minute mark, and Spencer leads 5-0 at the half. The statistics also fully in favor of Spencer unofficially. 24 shots, 11 shots on target to go along with 8 corner kicks. The Tigers have been dominant on the ball, Will, which we probably expected, that the Tigers would see a lot of the ball, but they have created the chances. Again, like you and I have talked about, a few things to work on, the set pieces. The Tigers using all of the field because we know what MOC-Floyd Valley, kind of the pattern they set into defensively. What do the Tigers need to do in the second half to continue to, like we said, keep getting better?
Yeah. And honestly, like you said, they've done a very good job. I think MOC is trying. At least it seemed like they were trying to do an offsides trap. It has not worked for them other than maybe 1 or 2 times.
Is that the most difficult part, to all step up in unison?
Yeah, because you really have to make sure that you're all in line, and then when that comes, like before that, you're kind of taking a step up almost and catching, and they're trying to catch Kirsten there. And it did work once or twice. And I think I had mentioned on one of the goals, she was offsides, but she wasn't involved in the play, so there was no call made there. And it's not a bad strategy when you're against them, but they're not performing it very well in that sense, because they usually have one person that's not kind of coming up with them, and then it becomes a race.
And that's also, like we've used this term again as well, calculated risk, because you get one thing just not quite right in that, and the other team is breaking away while you're standing still or even taking that step forward. So you're actually moving away from the ball.
Exactly. And the thing is I commend them for trying that, because Spencer is a tough team, and if you want to have any chance against them, you have to do something a little bit more unorthodox than what you probably normally would against another team. And maybe they have experience with that as well. But and I will say that I think, and maybe this is me misreading it a bit, I think that they're a little bit more winded, Spencer, is than normal. Just because they're doing so many runs. I usually, and they're still going tough after the ball, but I see a little bit more walking back to get into position on those goal kicks versus the jogging back that normally occurs. And so maybe to some degree that was working, but Spencer's dominated the 1-2 touches. They've dominated the possession of the ball. As you said, they've won all of these challenges, these goal kicks that are coming out, and turn it right back on the keeper. And I'm surprised the score is where it is.
We'll see if the second half field changes anything, if MOC-Floyd Valley is able to take a few more opportunities to move the ball into their attacking half with the wind at their back. And oftentimes we've seen that work in the Tigers' favor as well, where the opposing team opens up a little bit more and creates some more space for the Tigers to work in. So we'll see how the second half plays out next. Right now, Spencer a 5-0 lead at the halftime break over the visitors from MOC-Floyd Valley. You're watching Spencer Tiger Girls Soccer on SMU Channel 3.
The whole team is really close together and stuff like that. I like Big Sky. I like when people bite their nails. Chicken fried steak. Bauermeister because he pushes us really hard. How close our team is. I'm going to Morningside to run. Probably a phone, food, and an Xbox. Push each other.
Attention SMUnet.net email customers. As of June 1st, we will no longer be providing email service to customers. Our great internet service will continue and works with any email provider. Please contact us when your email address can be deactivated before June 1st. At that time, you can also let us know of your new email address. Please contact our customer service center at 712-580-5800 Monday through Friday between 8 a.m. and 5 p.m. or email us at support@smunet.net. We appreciate your assistance in making this a smooth transition.
Just the connection with all the friends and people on the team. I guess I watched the History Channel. Pet peeve. Not really, no. I like Crispitos a lot. I like Coach Hook because he's honest with everyone and pushes us. Just all the friends, all the memories. I'm going to go to Iowa Central and do their ag program. Phone, Xbox probably, and just blankets. Just keep on fighting through. Yeah.
Ready for the beginning of the second half between the Spencer Tigers and the MOC-Floyd Valley Dutch. On the field for Spencer, Kirsten Small, Brooke Mosier, Lexi Johnson, Mia Fank, Mary Mathieson, Anna Jacobson, Eliza Edwards, Taylor Vanderraa, Abby Horst, Alyssa Rouse, and Peyton Cooper in goal. Peyton has not had much to do yet tonight, and the Spencer Tiger back line, though, has been more involved in the play. They've been able to step up and get involved in the passing game, which has greatly benefited the Tigers. And now, Will, I think one of our big questions here for the start of the second half is, will MOC-Floyd Valley adjust anything with the wind at their back? Are they going to change their strategy much at all in the second half, or will it be a similar pattern to the first half?
Yeah, I mean, they really have one of two choices here. Is they're going to be trying to put a lot of pressure up front and try to move the ball forward, or they're going to just be trying to load the box in the back. Obviously, I think they've given up on any kind of offside trap a while ago. It looks like they're loading the back, honestly. So I think our question was just answered right there.
Spencer leading 5-0 to start the second half. Here's Lexi Johnson and Eliza Edwards combining on the pass. Now Eliza Edwards back onto the ball. Still Eliza Edwards as she gets around the defender into the box. Eliza will shoot, and the save made at the near post, and that was a strong-handed save by the goalkeeper, Amanda Holstein.
When Eliza just has that speed, she literally can dribble around players because she's so fast. And, I mean, you saw that player. She was trying to get an arm on her, and her arm just looked like she was almost going to push her with her elbow out because she couldn't keep up.
So the Tigers will have the corner kick, the 9th of the match for Spencer, and the header won by Mary Mathieson, who's not the tallest player on the pitch. Was able to win the header and get it on target, but the goalkeeper was ready for the headed ball from Spencer's midfielder. Now here's Eliza Edwards again. The early cross this time. Attacking it is Kirsten Small. Ends up somehow with Lexi Johnson. Still Lexi. Back towards Kirsten. Kirsten will shoot. And a great save made by Holstein as she sprawls across. And the ball did take a deflection, I believe, which caused it to flutter somewhat.
That might have just replaced her best save from before. I think that was a fantastic save.
She was at full stretch for that one and was able to get there and now makes another save, this time moving back to her right as the Tigers send the shot back in. So a really nice sequence for the MOC-Floyd Valley goalkeeper Holstein. And now can the Dutch play the ball out of their own half, give the Tiger defense some work to do. Bouncing ball will end up with Eliza Edwards. Plays it to the feet of Brooke Mosier. Better from the Dutch there to break up the play. Alyssa Rouse to Mia Fank. Now it's Abby Horst for Spencer. Abby with some width on that far side. Anna Jacobson. Anna closed down by 3 white shirts. Ball back to her, and now a tackle. Ball ends up with Kirsten Small. She will cross. MOC got the touch and now able to get the ball away out of the box. Eliza Edwards looking to play the ball back in. Picks out Brooke Mosier. Brooke will shoot, and Holstein with another diving save as she continues to impress between the sticks. Spencer leading 5-0 with 3 minutes gone in the second half.
You know, I said in the first half I was kind of surprised that it was only 5-0 going into that halftime. And, you know, thinking about it, I really shouldn't have been with how many good saves Holstein has actually had tonight. I mean, they have been pretty impressive and saved quite a few goals.
Anna Jacobson. And now the Tigers might have a chance to break away if this ball makes it through, and it somehow does. Kirsten Small. Kirsten will shoot early. Near post save made by Holstein. And now Grace Dahl onto the ball, able to pick out a teammate. Better here from the Dutch on the response from the Tiger attack. Abby Horst having to track all the way back to defend inside her own half. And a foul will be given. More than anything, I think the Dutch player just kind of lost her balance that time, but did bounce into Abby Horst. And now the Tigers away again. Brooke Mosier has Lexi Johnson inside, but instead Brooke goes for the shot, and it was rising high and away from the goal.
And really, that was the first opportunity that MOC would have had to have a 3-on-2 against Spencer, and she kind of fumbled the ball a little bit at the beginning there, tripped over it, and allowed Horst to get back, who had done a great job hustling back and disrupt that play.
The Dutch again able to play the ball out from the back. Taylor Vanderraa over to cover on this near side. Now Alyssa Rouse picks out Mary Mathieson, and Mary on the move towards the Tiger goal. Still Mary Mathieson, left-footed ball in. Arriving is Kirsten Small, and Kirsten gets on the outside of the ball and puts it wide of the post.
A little bit of a shank there. She was looking for a quick touch, kind of hit it with almost the back of her heel because swung a bit too early, and otherwise was wide open.
I think Mary Mathieson sometimes catches opposite midfielders off guard with how good of a left foot she has. And that time she put in a good left-footed ball again. Here's Taylor Vanderraa. There's a left-footed pass towards Lexi Johnson. Lexi watches Eliza Edwards on the outside. First touch takes her inside, but able to get back to the ball. And then a deflection off of the toe of a defender for MOC, and it ends up in the hands of the goalkeeper, Amanda Holstein, just a sophomore. He's had a pretty strong night, all things considered, for the Dutch in goal. Alyssa Rouse reads this well, wins the ball. Tries to play it early to the Tiger forward line. Anna Jacobson. Jacobson with options, plays it over the top for Kirsten Small. Holstein off of her line and is able to gather the ball.
Now, they just had MOC another opportunity for a 3-on-2, and it was to Hummel again, who, again, kind of gave it up a bit early instead of trying to draw out a defender, and so Spencer was able to take it right back.
Kirsten Small now in a attacking run, tried to cut back inside, and it was taken away by Marin Beatty. Kirsten Small again. Crosses. Deflected header, could have gone anywhere. Lexi Johnson keeps it in play, shoulder to shoulder with the defender. Quite a battle going on. And in the end, it's won by Anna Hummel, the freshman defender. A whistle and a free kick, a foul against MOC-Floyd Valley. Spencer will have a free kick. Taylor Vanderraa wants to take this free kick, it looks like. Left-footed delivery towards the edge of the 18. Mia Fank. Nifty touch. Now wide for Abby Horst. Abby into the box. Crosses, and it's a good one. Evades the goalkeeper, but the Tigers were arriving just a step or two behind that ball. Otherwise, it could have been number 6.
That was an excellent cross by Abby. She brought it in well, looked to right where her players should be making their runs, and like you said, just a step too far behind on the Spencer side.
Gabrielle Statler will come into the match for Spencer, and she will be on the left-hand side of the Tigers setup. Anna Jacobson has the goal kick played right to her. Now Taylor Vanderraa to Alyssa Rouse. Chance to switch the field, but instead the ball through the middle looking for Brooke Mosier. Grace Dahl there again for MOC-Floyd Valley. Ball ends up with Abby Horst, and she will play this to Eliza Edwards. Eliza with a ton of space, takes the shot, save at the near post. Ends up with Mia Fank, and then Mia could not put her foot through it as the defender arrived just in time. And the Dutch able to clear for the moment. Gabrielle Statler arriving with it in the box. Crosses for Brooke Mosier, and Brooke pops the shot over the crossbar. It will be a goal kick to MOC-Floyd Valley.
There was another well-played ball right in there to Brooke, and she just had to reach a little bit too far, and then that lean back and her body had it up over the post. But
Mary Mathieson to Lexi Johnson. Lexi stays with it. Still Lexi Johnson, and another save made by Holstein at the near post. Left-footed shot from Lexi Johnson. Didn't get the power that she was hoping for. And the ball bounces all the way back to Alyssa Rouse, who needs to get the pass right, and she does. She splits it through the two white shirts of MOC, and now the Tigers can be away on the counter. Gabrielle Statler crosses for Brooke Mosier, bounced just past Brooke, ends up with Anna Jacobson, and the bouncing ball took a bobble before Anna hit it. Couldn't get the shot down on target. So 10 minutes gone in the second half. Tigers lead 5-0. No goals in the second half as of yet. Spencer continuing to create opportunities, but the Dutch have kept their shape fairly well. Lexi Johnson to Gabrielle Statler. This is where the Tigers have been finding a lot of openings on the edges of and on the outside. But again, the Dutch close it down and take away that potential for a cross. Julie Plender trying to get the ball across the halfway line. Now Mary Mathieson skips past one player with the ball. Switches it to Abby Horst. And now Eliza Edwards. Edwards will turn on the gas. Into the box. Crosses for Brooke Mosier. Brooke shoots and scores. Brooke Mosier with her second of the match. Had plenty of time to get that shot on target and is able to score it and put Spencer ahead 6-0.
And Eliza did a great job there. It honestly looked to the defenders like most of her run there was going to be a shot. And she even kind of looked like that at her first pullback with her leg and then quick turned it inside to Brooke, who then had a little bit more time to set up her shot.
6-0 Spencer Tigers. The 51-01 mark of the match. Brooke Mosier with her second goal of the night. Now 2 goals and an assist for Brooke in the match this evening. Tigers into the box again, and this time it is the shot from Eliza Edwards, and the save made at the near post by Amanda Holstein.
And Eliza just keeps getting a lot of great opportunities again because her speed makes it so hard for the other teams to try to shut her down. She can just dribble right by them. She makes great runs, but she just needs to work on getting that shot away from the keeper.
Alyssa Rouse with a nice ball into space for Gabrielle Statler. Now Lexi Johnson, if she can beat this defender, will have some space. She does just that. Lexi Johnson into the box. Will shoot with the left foot and could not quite evade the hands of the goalkeeper, Amanda Holstein, who I will say she does a very good job of getting down behind the ball and making sure she's using her whole body to wall off the ball from the goal.
Absolutely. And then she gets on top of it. So one of the things that Spencer does so well of following those shots, they're not getting as many off of her.
So another save made by the goalkeeper, but Spencer immediately back on the front foot, continuing to attack. Now Abby Horst wins the ball. The Dutch will be happy to put this out for a throw-in. If nothing else, it just stops the Tiger attack for a moment. And now Lexi Johnson will get a rest with Kirsten Small coming back in. The throw in looking for Eliza Edwards. Eliza gets to this ball, but now is in a fight for it and does win the corner kick. So corner number 10, and even 10 corners for Spencer in the match. And it will be Eliza Edwards to take the corner. Good ball in to the far post, and the Tigers were there, could not direct it goalwards. There's a couple of purple shirts in the area. Mary Mathieson now keeping the Tiger attacking pressure on. Into the box, swinging shot from Brooke Mosier, and it's just wide as the Tigers create a couple of good chances, but do not end up with the goal.
That was the best corner kick I have seen all night. Honestly, it was so well placed. The runs were very strong on Spencer's side, just not, like you said, not timed right. Best corner kick of the night.
Brooke Mosier. Brooke will shoot from distance, but that was always going wide, and it was not deflected, so it will be a goal kick for MOC-Floyd Valley. Tigers continuing to just rack up the number of shots in this match. Eliza Edwards gets in a heck of a cross, but it was too deep and it goes out of play. Just a quick swivel and that ball was sent in with plenty of pace.
Even going at that speed for Eliza, getting that kind of get the boot off there. I mean, it's strong.
Sydney Schwartz has come back into the match. Will play in midfield. Here's Mary Mathieson first to it for Spencer. To Eliza Edwards. Now Mia Fank. Mia for Abby Horst, making the overlapping run. Abby tried to go for the cross, I believe, in the direction of Kirsten and Brooke, but it was behind the goal in the end. 24:30 left to play. Spencer leads 6-0. Short goal kick ends up with Eliza Edwards. Eliza still trying to win the ball. Shows off the speed to get back to it. And in the end, it is out of play. And it will be a Spencer corner kick. So once again, Eliza Edwards, with the hustle to go after that ball, does win the corner for Spencer.
See if they can capitalize on this with another fantastic corner.
Tigers set up for the corner kick set piece. Ball driven into the near post this time, a low-driven ball. Grace Dahl could not deal with it cleanly, and the Tigers will have a second chance at the corner. Corner number 12 in the match. Still 23:40 left to play. Eliza Edwards' delivery again. Gets past the first defender. Takes a deflection off of Mia Fank. Now Sydney Schwartz on the ball. Dutch unable to fully clear. Mary Mathieson. To Mia Fank. Now Sydney Schwartz. To Mary Mathieson again. Shoots, blocked by the defender in the box, standing on the penalty spot. And the Dutch happy to just play it into a wide area and get the ball away. Sydney Schwartz with the layoff for Kirsten Small. Back to Sydney. She will square this for Brooke Mosier. Brooke wants to shoot. She will, and then the parry that time by Holstein just to get hands on it and push it outside of the post. Made sure she got back to it. And now the big delivery towards midfield. That was taken out of the air nicely by Abby Horst. And now the Tigers have to chase this back near Alyssa Rouse. To Sydney Schwartz.
That might be the farthest into Spencer territory that ball has gotten tonight.
Mathieson to Mosier. And now Eliza Edwards. And look at Eliza racing towards goal, and it's too close to the goalkeeper at the near post, and a comfortable save by Holstein. As soon as you see that green grass open up on that far side, Eliza Edwards with a lot of room to run. Sydney Schwartz back defending. Here goes Sarah Hummel for MOC-Floyd Valley, and just as she was shaping to shoot, the challenge made, and the Tigers are going to be whistled for a foul free kick to the Dutch, and the most forward position for a free kick from the Dutch here tonight. Sarah Hummel will stand over this, the senior for MOC-Floyd Valley. Takes a couple of deep breaths. Two-player wall in front of her. The ball sent in, bounces around dangerously, and the Tigers fortunate to get that ball away, but now all kinds of space for a Tiger counterattack. Mary Mathieson to Eliza Edwards. Eliza gets around the defender, drives into the box, crosses it away from everyone. Gabrielle Statler will get to this. Gabrielle Statler still shoots for the far post, and that was curling into that far corner as Amanda Holstein had to shuffle across very quickly to make the save. But Will, just a matter of seconds from an MOC-Floyd Valley free kick just outside the box to Spencer with the ball in the other box.
And the big mistake there for MOC was that.
Oh, and look at the shot from Mia Fank. Not a ton of power on it, but you want to talk about placement up and over the goalkeeper and then just burying it in the far corner. We didn't really have much to say about that because it just came in so perfectly. It kind of caught us off guard.
She was out on the corner of the box a little bit, couple yards back out, and thinking maybe she was going to cross it, and that just floated right in there. Oh, wow. What you were saying about the turnaround right there is they had nobody in the middle. So MOC literally had 4 back. The rest were up front, and the only people in the middle were purple. So the minute that got moved out, the only person able to go get it was Spencer.
Mia Fank with the Tigers' 7th, and it was a beauty. Now here's Kirsten Small. Kirsten to Mary Mathieson. Mary plays it for Kirsten again, and the Dutch able to get it away, and it will be a throw-in for Spencer, very close to the corner flag. Ball in to the feet of Brooke Mosier. She will shoot on the turn, and a difficult effort puts it just wide.
I'm just noticing up on that board, and I'm wondering,
Here goes Lexi Johnson into the box, and it's just over.
I'm wondering if those 22 saves has been kept going this game so far. Is that an accurate number for
I
Holstein?
have the Tigers on 26 shots on target unofficially. So we're pretty close on the stats. Matt Keeler is running the stats on the scoreboard here tonight.
I was going to say that is an impressive evening for a goalkeeper, that many saves.
Here's the drive into the box from Abby Horst. Spencer at the near post, and it's Lexi Johnson with a little bit of a side foot finish. Pretty finish. The assist from Abby Horst. And the Tigers strike with a second goal quickly after Mia Fank's effort from outside the box.
I think they must have heard me say that was an impressive night for the keeper. They turned around and 2 goals, one after the other.
You can still, though, have an impressive night even if you're being, goals scored against you. And I certainly am with you. I think Holstein has had a very good game.
Tigers' 8th goal comes in the 62nd minute. Lexi Johnson, assist, Abby Horst.
Lexi Johnson with that goal. It is her 4th of the match, the assist from Abby Horst. Now Kirsten Small for Gabrielle Statler. Licensed to operate on this left-hand side. Crosses, skips through the box, ends up with Mia Fank. Now Mia shoots at the near post, save made. The Dutch not with a full clearance, and the ball comes scorching back in from Mia, but it was always rising just a little bit.
And really, that was there haven't been too many second chance, third chance shots this evening for Spencer. MOC has done a lot of clearing out as quickly as they can, or as you said, Holstein has really held on to the ball, and so it's starting to finally maybe see that opening.
Here's Lexi Johnson again, trying to play it into the path of Kirsten Small. And a little bit out in front of Kirsten. Unable to connect. 8-0 Spencer Tigers. 17-15 left to play here at the Spencer Soccer Complex. Spencer trying to earn its 12th win of the season. Taylor Vanderraa now towards Kirsten Small. Kirsten, time to turn on the ball. Now Taylor Vanderraa to Brooke Mosier. Across to Anna Fank, who's back into the game. Now Lexi Johnson drops the shoulder. Takes the ball into the box. Still Lexi Johnson. To Mary Mathieson. Back to Mia Fank. She will shoot again from distance. And this time hits the pole behind the goal.
Yeah, now one thing you notice is our MOC has really not let down. I mean, in many of the games we've seen so far, the teams, when they get this far down, they lay down, and then it becomes a quick end to the game, and not so tonight.
Another shot at the near post. I'm not sure if it was intended to be a shot, but the save made by Holstein. The punt towards midfield, and it's all the way back to Alyssa Rouse. Now Taylor Vanderraa. Spencer has gotten the defensive back line involved in the passing game tonight, opening things up. Here's Gabrielle Statler. Gets around one MOC player. Now Kirsten Small. Kirsten will shoot. Near post save made by Holstein. Tiger throw-in from Taylor Vanderraa to Kirsten Small. 15 minutes left to play. Spencer leading 8-0. Gabrielle Statler.
Little miscommunication there. I mean, they've been doing those 1-2s so well. And then every once in a while, I really do think maybe we are starting to see Spencer seem to be a bit tired, because they usually don't have those quick mistakes on a 1-2. That's kind of their bread and butter as we've watched them throughout the season.
Alyssa Rouse back to get to this ball. Plays a long diagonal towards Lexi Johnson, and now Lexi's away. Still Lexi Johnson. Into the box, near post run, deflected ball. Keeper makes the save. Mary Mathieson almost got there to put that shot on target. Gabrielle Statler comes up with the ball, and it will be a Tiger corner. "13 corners tonight for Spencer. Eliza Edwards will come back in for Gabrielle Statler. So now Eliza back on the left-hand side of the Tiger formation. Ball delivered to the top of the box. Mia Fank to Brooke Mosier. Brooke wants to shoot this. Near post save made by Holstein, who has, I think, made the determination she is not going to be beaten at the near post tonight.
She does have some really good awareness of where that post is. Those near post shots can be dangerous, because if the keeper loses track of where they are in the box, where they are relative to the goal, those are some easy shots to get in when that keeper loses awareness. But she has not done that. She seems to know exactly where she's at in the net.
13:05 left to play. Spencer leads 8-0. Alyssa Rouse wearing one of the captain's armbands back to play this ball to Taylor Vanderraa. Now Eliza Edwards look for the one-touch return ball to Vanderraa. Throw in for MOC-Floyd Valley. Alyssa Rouse defending again. And then nice control there to hit it off of the MOC-Floyd Valley player. And that will result in a Tiger goal kick with 12:30 left to play.
And Plender there, Julie Plender, I believe her name is, she has put a lot of pressure relatively to other teams on our defensive back. And
she's going to be very tired from chasing the ball tonight.
She is. I don't think they've seen that much pressure, at least at the home matches, and other than their challenging games that they've had with the larger 3A schools. They haven't really seen that kind of pressure.
Here's Lexi Johnson with a chance to run at the back line, and Lexi is away. Lexi Johnson one-on-one with the goalkeeper, and Holstein makes the save again, and you can see the frustration from Lexi as the certain breakaway opportunity denied by the goalkeeper, Amanda Holstein. Here's a nice control by Eliza Edwards to Mary Mathieson. And you're starting to see the energy levels, I think, drop on both sides a little bit as Kirsten Small arrives into the box, squares it for Lexi Johnson, and Lexi. Flag was up before the shot. Some of the white shirts, though, starting to, you can tell, wear down from having to chase the ball so much of this match, Will.
Absolutely. I mean, and that's the thing is you can have a lot of aggressive play, and on an average team that's going to help you, but just wears you out on this against the Spencer team.
Eliza Edwards tries the outside flick with the right foot, and the ball saved initially but not cleared, and then it ends up somehow on the roof of the net. I'm not really sure how, but the ball just popped off of someone's foot and went right on top of the net.
Well, I think, honestly, the keeper was trying to grab it, and one of the MOC players initially was then trying to clear it, realized the keeper was trying to grab it, didn't finish the clear, and then it just became a large group of them all gunging for it.
Brooke Mosier with a good shot and a goal from outside the boxes. This time, Brooke puts it right on the money as she put her foot through it, and the high shot able to evade the outstretched arms of the goalkeeper.
And again, that was great placement. Not quite exactly in the corner, but pretty close to that upper left corner, and able to put it over Holstein's hands. I mean, those placement shots are important, and I think, where Lexi was getting frustrated is she's not usually one that's kicking the ball straight at the keeper on those breakaways. In the last 3, she has kicked it straight at the keeper. Not a common occurrence for her.
The 70th minute, Brooke Mosier with her hat trick makes score 9-0. Assist Kirsten Small.
Abby Horst will square this towards Brooke Mosier. Brooke Mosier into the box. Still Brooke Mosier. Chance to cross, and a deflection off of an MOC player. It will be a corner kick for the purple and gold. Lexi Johnson will run over to the far corner flag for this corner. Spencer leading 9-0. Brooke Mosier with that goal now has a hat trick, joining Lexi Johnson, who has 4 goals in the match. Mia Fank with 2. Back to Alyssa Rouse. Now Anna Jacobson. To Lexi Johnson. For Abby Horst, making the overlapping run. Abby with a couple of assists tonight. Picks out Brooke Mosier, and Brooke, just as she was trying to bring it in, had it bounce off of her left foot, and the goalkeeper quickly pounces on top of that loose ball in the box. Alyssa Rouse to Abby Horst. Now Mia Fank with the delivery into the box, spilled by the goalkeeper. Partial clearance to the edge of the 18-yard box. Kirsten Small there. Now Anna Jacobson to Eliza Edwards. Brooke Mosier again. And the Dutch come away with it, but it goes out at midfield. Spencer with the quick throw in towards Lexi Johnson. Another Tiger throw. 7:50 remaining. Anna Jacobson. Now Taylor Vanderraa. Anna Jacobson trying to find one of the Tiger forwards. Abby Horst back to Alyssa Rouse. Now Vanderraa again. To Eliza Edwards. Eliza puts her foot on the gas. Drives into the box with the ball. Left-footed cross. Too close to goalkeeper Holstein with the sure hands. And there's the pressure put on the ball again by Julie Plender. Chasing it down. The Tigers able to pass around her. To Brooke Mosier. Mosier for Lexi Johnson to chase. And the goalkeeper reading that comes off of her line quickly.
And you saw actually, Vanderhaa, she showed one of the key understandings of a defender. If you're not going to get to the ball, you get in the way of the offense, so they can't get to the ball. And there's officially that's obstruction. Sorry. But she definitely, she knows how to kind of position and maneuver her body to be in the way of that that offensive strike.
Couple players coming in to the match for Spencer. Mallory Clemmy and also Sadie Cayley. Push there from the MOC-Floyd Valley defender, and Spencer will have the free kick. And another chance to work on a set piece here, as this free kick will be just outside the box. It's essentially a corner kick, 10 yards closer to the goal, 15 yards closer. Lexi Johnson keeps it low, is looking for Abby Horst. Grace Dahl trying to defend, but Spencer wins the ball back. Bobbled by the goalkeeper. Mallory Clemmy was there, but the goalkeeper able to hold on the second bounce. And actually a foul was given against the Tigers. Goalkeepers always get the benefit of the doubt in those situations. Sadie Cayley to Eliza Edwards. Eliza, left-footed cross. Plucked out of the air by Amanda Holstein. Anna Jacobson. And the referee pulls it back. There was I think an inadvertent arm came out and caught Sarah Hummel. So a free kick. Actually, it's a free kick to Spencer.
So initially, it possibly could have been a foul on Hummel, but I think he was honestly stopping it, worried about an injury when there wasn't any kind of preference. So since he'd stopped it during Spencer's possession, it's officially a drop ball, but they generally will give it back to the team that had possession in that sense. Like it's a drop ball just dropped in front of her.
So after the restart of play, 3:37 left to play in the match. Anna Jacobson with the nice control to Sydney Schwartz. And now Eliza Edwards on the ball, playing the 1-2 with Sadie Cayley. Eliza Edwards will have some room in the box. Eliza crosses. Mallory Clemmy gets the toe poke. It's blocked by the defender. Now Lexi Johnson. Lexi trying to open up some space. Shoots at the near post. Save made by Holstein again. And the Tigers will earn yet another corner kick. 15th corner of the match.
Yet another impressive stat that I don't think you'd see very often is that many corner kicks for a team in a match.
I'm not sure if I remember seeing this many corners in a high school match.
It's quite a few.
Ball lifted to the near post, headed away initially by the Dutch. Now Sydney Schwartz to Sadie Cayley. Sadie will shoot, and it's through the hands of the goalkeeper Holstein and into the back of the net for the Tiger 10th. And that will put the exclamation point on the game as the Spencer Tigers get the victory 10-0. And I believe it is the 10th time this season, Will, that the Tigers have reached that magic number of 10 goals, which no matter how you frame it, that is an impressive statistic for these Tiger girls.
It is. I mean, it really is. And on the same point, it's almost a disadvantage to one degree for them when it becomes postseason time, because they're going to eventually be playing a team that is more their caliber or level at some point in the postseason. And, we have Peyton Cooper is an amazing keeper, but the number of touches she's getting in a game is minimal, if any. I mean, I don't think she had a touch in this game. And
didn't have to make a save.
Yeah, and I think that, even though she's a fantastic keeper, I mean, it can get her rusty not having to actually make saves in a game situation.
But the Tiger outfield players were on the ball for the majority of this game, had a chance to work on a lot of different aspects in their play and their interchange here tonight. We like the passing game, especially in the first half. Here in the second half, it was more about the outside runs that were being made. There was a lot of space there for the Tigers, balls coming in from wide areas. And Spencer was able to make those count as they score 5 goals in the first half and then 5 again here in the second.
Absolutely. And I think a lot of that still came back from the fact that MOC did not have a presence in the middle during this game. And the 1-2s are really a way to get around that presence in the middle, around the midfielders when they're not following. Because that midfielder, their job is to follow the other one that passes it off. So if they're coming up and challenging and they pass it off, they're supposed to stick with that midfielder as they go. And but if you don't have a presence in the middle, then it's an easy way to just go through. And I mean, when you have speed like Lexi and Eliza and Brooke, I'd take that any day as well too.
So the Tigers get the big victory here tonight, as they will pick up their 12th win of the season. Now 12-4. MOC-Floyd Valley will fall to an even 500, 7-7. Let's take a look at the goal scoring summary. Spencer opened up the scoring in the 6th minute. Mia Fank. 9th minute, Lexi Johnson. 11th minute, Lexi Johnson on the assist from Brooke Mosier. 17th minute, Lexi Johnson with her hat trick. 27th minute, Brooke Mosier with her first goal of the match as the Tigers took a 5-0 lead into the halftime break. Second half, 52nd minute, Brooke Mosier with her second goal, the assist from Eliza Edwards. In the 60th minute, Mia Fank with her second goal of the match. 62nd minute, Lexi Johnson on the assist from Abby Horst. 70th minute, Brooke Mosier, the assist from Abby Horst. And in the 78th minute, Sadie Cayley with the shot, which beat the goalkeeper Amanda Holstein, who was very good here tonight. And the numbers reflect it. 15 corner kicks for Spencer, an absurd amount of shots. I believe I have Spencer for over 50 shots in the match, including 33 on target. So the Tigers were getting the shots away. They were getting them on target. It was a good goalkeeping performance, honestly, from MOC-Floyd Valley, as Amanda Holstein gets some congratulations from her family members. But the Tigers, in the end, varied their play, got goals in a lot of different fashions here tonight, Will, and I think that will help them going forward. So Spencer with the victory, 10-0. MOC-Floyd Valley falls to 7-7. As I mentioned, Spencer improves to 12-4. For Will Dybel, I'm Mark Magnuson. Andrew Miller, our camera operator this evening. You've been watching Spencer Tiger Girls Soccer on SMU Channel 3, the Spencer Channel.